What women have to do is realize that it's not gonna work all the time. I mean, that's the number one thing that you have to understand, that it's not gonna work all the time. And when it doesn't work is during the times when you learn the most. When it doesn't work is during the times when you when you're able to grow more, because it's during defeat that you're able to face your inner demons. It's during defeat when you're able to see what you're running away from. It's during defeat when you're able to see yourself without all of the vanity, all of the glory that people put upon you. It's during defeat that you see your true friends. It's during defeat that you see your true strengths and weaknesses. So by practicing this actively and putting yourself in positions to get rejected, you actually grow. In the beginning, you're not going to see the growth, just like when you don't see the growth of a child as he grows up, as opposed to seeing the child coming back 2 or 3 months later and seeing that the child grew. So you do grow after each battle that you lose. You grow, all right, and you learn more from defeats than from wins and all that sort of stuff. But generally speaking, though, you're going to most likely you're going to not get the guy. That's what tends to happen. I always say be pessimistic. I'm not saying to have lack of confidence, but be pessimistic, because happiness is a function of expectation, like Jalen Rose says. So you gotta realize that you're not always gonna get them, and it's very difficult for women to realize that, because their value, for the most part, at least what they think, and at least what I think too, is based on their looks. It's based on their looks. So you might think that he's rejecting you because of your look, but in reality, most of the time, guys reject women because of the things that they do. If they're slightly interested, they're either desperate, right, and considering you because they have no other option, or because they actually like you. Okay, so when you do something that causes them to lose attraction, I mean, that's what usually happens. It's not that you don't need to learn tactics to get the guy. You gotta first eliminate the behavior that's causing you to lose a guy. It's kind of like, rather than putting on deodorant first, take a shower and then put on the deodorant. And so rather than you actually using these tactics to get the guy, you're actually gonna lower your self-esteem. And so it's not really gonna help you. It might help you in the short run, but then you become addicted to the stimulus. You start focusing on what's not on the least important part, which is the outcome, and you start losing focus from the most important part, which is the process, the doing itself. The fun of it all. That even though you don't get the guy, you had fun. And if you have fun, genuine fun, you always win. But the whole point is that we all fluctuate. Now, you may fluctuate on the lower levels, or you may fluctuate on the higher levels, which is higher self-esteem. Some days you have lower self-esteem, some days you have, but your average is higher than the average. But that doesn't mean you're not gonna have the highs and lows. So you may not be as attractive as you may be attractive, you may not be as attractive, but you're more attractive than you were in the past if you otherwise would not apply these tactics. But you gotta realize how the game works. You gotta practice it. You gotta expose yourself more to more failure than success, because I can promise you that the best people in this field in terms of seduction are the ones that get rejected the most, simply because not because they get rejected, because they succeed more. The more you practice, the more you get rejected. The more feedback you get, the more reference experience you get, and the more connections you begin making, and you start seeing differentiating what works. And so, for example, people tell me, how hot should I be, how cold should I be? That's something that you learn through intuition, and the only way for you to do that is to go the extreme on both sides. One day, go the extreme in terms of giving the guy space. Go the extreme, block the shit out of him on Facebook. Tell them to go fuck off and see what happens. And notice how you feel. Notice how you feel being rude. Because that's the problem. People don't like being rude. People feel bad being rude. But they don't know that a little bit of rudeness, a little bit of cruelty goes a long way. If you're a nice person, a little bit of cruelty causes a person to be like, oh, wait a minute, what the I really don't know the person as much as I thought I did. Because I thought that I had them all figured out, and suddenly they did something cruel. You see? So that's what I want you to do. You see, I want you to be okay with being cruel. Okay, I don't know how the hell I got in that subject, but nevertheless, what I'm saying is that that's one thing you're gonna have to realize is if you're gonna do this, you better not try to not get rejected. Because if you do that, then you're back to the same place, which is you're trying to project an image of something that you're not, which means that the person who you are is not enough for you. which also means that, remember, the self is always coming through. So what you feel about yourself and what you see about yourself the most, either exaggerated or reality, people are going to see it, despite the fact it may be true or not true. Now, you are going to focus on unconscious and conscious things about you. So so for example, there are things about you that you don't like about yourself, but that are not but aren't dominating your conscious awareness, like low self-esteem. Rather than feeling low self-esteem, you masquerade it through feeling superior to somebody else. So you fool yourself through feeling the emotion of low self-esteem through being bigger than somebody else, humbling somebody, like a bully. So that tends to happen. You see, so those emotions are there. So what you're doing through rejection is that you're crumbling those walls in you that are stiff and hard. You're crumbling those walls, And so by experiencing rejection after rejection, you're going to start noticing that more of your fictitious self begins to crumble. You see. But nevertheless, though, this is it. You got to deal with rejection. You got to have to deal with it. And sometimes it's not going to work, And what you got to do is find out if you apply the principles.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys ever want to learn how to use your feminine energy to influence people, learn how to use your masculine energy to become more assertive, and also learn how to blend both energies to improve your dating life, your spiritual life, honestly, your relationship life, your family life, your career life, this is the course for you. If I had to make a course for my nieces, I have two nieces, one is 19 and one is 15. 16. Holy shit. Oh my God, he's a bad fucking uncle. He's a bad uncle. Get him. Shut up, Melissa. You should get this course, right? And this is the course that I will make for them. So, for example, watch the curriculum, right? In the first week, we're going to be showing you how to establish a strong masculine foundation without letting it hurt your feminine energy. This masculine foundation is a source of who you are, right? It's your bodyguard. Without this, whatever feminine energy you create will be destroyed by the outside, because your masculine is your shield. So we'll talk about goal setting. We'll talk about how to develop a serious attitude. We're gonna be talking about how to use more logic, how to use more goal-oriented behavior. It's more how to be a man, Now the next one is how to embrace the feminine energy, right? This one would teach you about how to minimize excessive masculine traits, developing self-awareness, healing abundant feminine energy, regulating your emotion, mastering voice qualities and facial expressions, surrendering control, and allowing pain to be felt. This is honestly, this will supercharge, like Kaioken, your masculine energy. After that, we have femininity in the workplace and how to be feminine in the workplace without letting people take advantage of you, and the nuances of how women on power should behave versus women who are subordinates in the workplace, and even the dress code. This is based on psychology, people. It's kind of insane. I'm actually excited about this one. The next week, we talk about navigating the labyrinth of male and female friendship. And this, a lot of women find confusing, so we talk about that. And how to identify envious friends, how to identify the good friends, how to keep male friends, and how to keep female friends. Week 5, we talk about how to release the burden of the past and stop and destroy mental projections. This is actually really powerful. And then week 6, we talk about how to increase your observational power so that you can read people better. And we have a bunch of bonuses. The course starts at $99, and you guys can pre-order the course today at $69 before it goes out. If you're watching this, most likely I'm in the meditation retreat, so I will be praying for all of you guys. And just click on the description down below of the video. Right there, you'll see it, and you could pre-order that course. It's gonna be out by the end of next month or the beginning of February of March. One of the two, people, because I have a 10-day retreat to do, and I want to finish the course after the retreat, because I think the ideas are gonna be so much better. All right, man. I'll see you guys later. Pre-order, man. I'm closing the channel.